Hey everybody, here's a little bit more of an explanation of the transition to payroll, the new payroll system. Okay, here's the old way. The pay weeks haven't changed. So week 1 runs Thursday to Wednesday. Week 2 runs Thursday to Wednesday. Thursday, we start a new pay cycle where your new time is recorded, and then we pay for the last 2 weeks on Friday. So it's cut off Wednesday, pay on Friday. It's a 1 day turnaround. That has become nearly impossible to continue. Doing payroll this way causes us to have to input payroll for 115 employees, enter standard deductions, enter child support wage garnishments, calculate student loans, enter and adjust vacation hours, enter deductions for uniforms and sled for new employees, recheck all the data input to make sure there's no mistakes, print out all the paychecks and hope the printer doesn't break, check the data a final time to make sure that there's no mistakes. All this had to be done on Thursday night so the checks could be available Friday morning. This wasn't that hard 17 years ago when I had 5 employees, but it's become increasingly difficult over the years to the point where we just cannot do it this way any longer. On many occasions, it's resulted in Amy and I working 18 plus hours on Thursday night and sometimes still not getting the checks ready when expected. And that causes problems all of its own because people are showing up, they're not ready, it just creates a lot of anger. Under the new way of doing payroll, the old way of doing payroll, if Amy and I, either one, got into a car accident, got sick, had a family emergency, anything, payroll wouldn't happen, and it might be delayed for days. The old way of doing payroll does not even give us the opportunity to offer direct deposit or any other payroll options. Under the new way of doing payroll, it allows us to input the hours over a period of days and not just a handful of hours. It allows for direct deposit options, minimizes the chance of payment check mistakes because we're not having the rush. It eliminates 18-hour payroll nights, minimizes the chance the banks are closed on for holidays because Wednesday payrolls are paydays. They shouldn't happen that way. If I'm getting behind, if a mistake's made, we'll have time to fix it. This should have been done 17 years ago, like almost every business does. They have a week gap. We didn't do it back then, so we have to do it now. Keeping it this way is not manageable. It's extremely difficult, and it doesn't allow for any company growth at all. As an example, right now we have around 115 employees, and we can barely get it done as it is. If we took on several contracts or one big contract, and the employees went to 200 or more, doing payroll this old way wouldn't even be possible. There simply wouldn't be enough time to process it all overnight like we are now. It wouldn't happen. Okay, here's the new payday system. The pay weeks have not changed. You run Thursday to Wednesday, Thursday to Wednesday. Every other Thursday starts a new pay cycle. Okay, this Friday, instead of a paycheck, you're going to receive 75% of your expected net, approximately 75%, as an advance. So if you were supposed to get 600, you'll get around 450. This holds you over to the actual payday, which is now Wednesday. So if you were expecting to get 600 on payday, that's what your paycheck will have on it. You'll have half of the advance pulled out. So in this example, $225 leaves you with $375 of net pay. You're going to hold on to the other $225 of the advance. So if you add that back into the $375, it makes essentially a full check. That holding the other half is going to hold you over to the next actual payday, which will be 2 weeks from that day on a Wednesday. Now this number is wrong. It should have said 600, but it doesn't really matter. But if you're expecting to get 600, that's what your paycheck's going to have. We're going to deduct out the other half of the advance, 225, leaving you with 475. Now, what we were going to do is pull the whole thing out in one, but that would make things really tight. So we decided to do it over 2 payrolls. Now, it is important that you not view the 225 as extra money. It's not. It's advanced to you to hold you over through the transition so that your paychecks aren't too short and makes it tough on you. Hold on to that money as long as you can and make it last to the payday. That's why we're doing it, to ease any financial burden on anybody because of that 5-day gap. I'm sorry that this has to be done if you've already